Welcome to Eagle News. Our topic today is Vietnam War Commemorations and Legacies. The signing of the Paris Peace Accords on January 27, 1973, formally ended the Vietnam War. The agreement was signed by the governments of North and South Vietnam, as well as the Revolutionary National Liberation Front. The event's 50th anniversary serves as a point of reference for study. For many years, intense, passionate divisions among Americans over the war tore the country apart. That is receding, which is a good. However, accurate assessment of teachings might be difficult due to misconceptions and the passage of time. Barton Swaim, a talented journalist, had an interesting interview with former Senator Jim Webb, DVA, which was published in the Wall Street Journal on January 21 to 22. As a Marine Corps officer in Vietnam, Webb was injured and won the Navy Cross, Silver Star, Bronze Star, and Purple Heart, among other awards. Webb knows what he's talking about when it comes to military warfare. Webb highlights that, contrary to popular assumption, most Vietnam veterans are proud of their duty. Defense Secretary Robert McNamara and his civilian quantitative analysts, as well as the well-organized and well-funded anti-war movement, are blamed for the ultimate failure of the United States' efforts to preserve South Vietnam. Webb also underlines Hanoi sent assassination teams targeting specific village chiefs and social workers in the South, and references French journalist and academic Bernard Fall's crucial, dependable work. McNamara, an aggressive statistician manager, was obsessed with quantitative metrics of development. Attrition was the order of the day, with enemy body counts and weapons serving as barometers of progress. Body counts were frequently exaggerated. Politics and public relations at the Pentagon tainted information. As the battle got more frustrating and contentious, opponents focused on this issue. Following the war, Vietnam Commander General William Westmoreland filed a nasty lawsuit against CBS News, accusing them of producing a biased documentary on the gory numbers game. The body count approach, however, has a more subtle and serious flaw. During the Vietnam War, iconoclasts in the United States Army, such as Colonel John Paul Vaughn, contended that the McNamara policies were based on faulty premises. Given the huge volume of American firepower, increasing body and weapon totals only meant that the enemy's numbers were growing. There were additional targets to eliminate. Officers who questioned the strategy were not only unceremoniously dismissed during McNamara's tenure at the Pentagon, but their careers were also jeopardized. Vaughn, who was eventually vindicated, rose to prominence as a civilian official of the Agency for International Development, the essential but politically divisive U.S. foreign aid program. Vaughn, a true warrior, continued to carry a weapon and run military activities, unwilling to let go of his passion. Late in the battle, he was killed in a helicopter crash. Unsurprisingly, the Vietnam War had a significant impact on the United States military, particularly the Army. During the Eisenhower administration, pressures mounted not only to boost military spending but also to utilize U.S. forces more aggressively abroad. As a result, the incoming Kennedy government increased defense spending significantly. Counterinsurgency became a fascination for President Kennedy and important aides. However, in Vietnam, the fighting eventually became routine. War is unpredictably unpredictable. On the same day that the Paris Peace Accords were signed, Secretary of Defense Melvin Laird declared the end of the draft and the establishment of an all-volunteer force. As a result, our armed personnel can be sent more easily into potentially risky circumstances. In other words, participation in wars became more plausible.